Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Targeted Individual Program, the Targeted Individual Experience. Again, just doing a video, giving a weekly update, and showing how I'm being targeted. Okay, there are videos where I'll just try and give information about this sort of program. This program is a non-consensual human experimentation program and a cover-up to go along with that non-consensual human experimentation. The cover-up involve the use of programs like Coercive Persuasion Program. They use this program to discredit and to silence victims of non-consensual experimentation. Also, they will use covert investigation type programs along with the psychological harassment program to silence victims from coming forward and for exposing what it is that they're doing. And as you hear in the background, the sirens, because for the past couple of days, they've been very busy trying to silence me, having people do this to me as they walk by me, women, men, children, teenagers, as they walk past me or they walk towards me, they will do this. And I'm going to show an example of this. I've talked about that, but I never really caught it on camera until this morning, because there have been very little busy bees in terms of targeting me and in terms of trying to get me to be quiet about what it is that's being done. Okay? So, this sort of program has been around for a very long time. Okay? They are targeted individuals who have been in this program for 30 plus years. Okay? Me, myself, I've been in this program for about probably 18 years, knowingly about 15 years. But, they target you before that, because the process of you becoming aware of your targeting is when they let you know, okay, they have already conditioned you, they have already programmed you through a process of coercive persuasion, neurolinguistic programming, classical conditioning, those type of psychological techniques and tactics have been done to you as a TI prior, probably a couple of years, to you becoming aware. And they make you become aware. Okay, you don't just become aware on your own. They make you become aware. Okay, either by creating a situation where they can get you in a position to where they can implant you. Okay, so this is about implantation for the purpose of remote neural monitoring. Okay, as well as other experiments that's being done. But basically, for most TIs, it's implantation. Okay, for remote neural monitoring. Okay, and then trying to hide it by trying to make you look crazy, labeling you with a mental illness. When you go to talk to someone about what's being done to you, you're referred to a psychiatrist. If you go to the police station and say, "Hey, this is happening to me," the police will tell you that you need to seek professional help. It was done to me. Okay, that is because they don't want to help you, because they are a part of this. They play a big part in targeting you. They play a big part in relaying negative information about you to the general public. Okay, and the general public is stupid enough to go along and believe what it is they're being told. They like to use or say this is national security or this is about safety, but trust me, it is not about that. Okay, it is not about national security. It is not about safety. It's about these people with their technology, and they want to use it and implement it within a greater society, and so they have to find victims in order to implant, set up, then implant, and then try to use whatever they feel they have on the victim to be quiet, or they will be, thrown in jail as if they continue to talk about it, if they continue, or if they decide to expose what's being done. Because it happens to me every day, the harassment from the police, and you'll see in this video that I'm doing, where this morning, the police harassment, okay, as well as them using kids, a kid, to target me and to do what is called a staring campaign, okay, on my kids. So the way to, let me start by saying this. So over the weekend, or the last couple of days of the week, last week to over the weekend, they have been microwaving me and my kids in this apartment, very heavily, trying to use my kids to target me in a way that I get targeted when I'm outside. So being that I'm in the house, they have to find some way to target me. So through microwave technology, they're able to manipulate my children's minds so that they can target me, as well as their mother. She's here. Okay? And one thing I've noticed is that their short-term memory has been greatly affected, as has mine, because of the technology, the remote neural monitoring, the microwave technology that's being used on us. And not just on us inside this apartment, but family members who I interact with daily. I've started to notice and see that their short-term memory is being affected by this, okay? Yet no one wants to believe me as a TI, But that's okay, because you know what? There are, articles out there about the same thing being done to the American diplomats and American spy agents in Cuba. Okay, these type of technology, and the symptoms are the same symptoms they've experienced, I've experienced, and other TIs have experienced. So the U.S. government is fully aware of this type of technology because they created this type of technology. They've been researching this type of technology for decades. It is nothing new to them. Okay, and the general public have bought into the Coercive Persuasion Program because they are being told certain things about TIs. They try to make it about like TIs a threat to the community or a threat to greater society, what have you. And so these people participate in it, particularly those who are very religious, okay, because the churches are deeply involved also, along with the police. The police go to the churches, go to the community churches, and get members of the churches to participate in these type of program, okay? Again, this is nothing new, all right? I'm going to give you an example of that. For example, a couple years ago, there was an article in the New York Times and I believe the New York Post about the archdiocese in New York were threatening parents who kids have HIV to take these experimental drugs. Now, these drugs have not been tested on any animals in the lab, so they decided that they're going to use children, okay? And I guess they thought that it was okay because these children had HIV, so that makes it okay for them to experiment on these children. And when some of the parents refused, they used the church, the Catholic Church, the archdiocese, to threaten the parents of these children that the state were going to take away their kids if they don't give these children these experimental drugs. So this is nothing new. Okay, this is nothing new. And I guess it got forgotten in the back of people's mind because, people don't really care. If you're a person that have HIV, people shun you, they look down on you, what have you. And that's the perfect reason for government to experiment on you because nobody cares. Nobody will care about you. You're an outcast of society. Okay, so this type of experiment has continued and continued and continued. This is nothing new. And we as TIs, we were at the forefront of the development and the implementation of microchipping and for the purpose of remote neural monitoring. Okay, so that's nothing new. In terms of also directed energy weapons, vibration acoustical weapons, which were used on me early on in my targeted, that actually caused an injury to my spine. that was being done. Okay, way before and also bone conduction technology, which they started to market it commercially a few years back, but that has been used on me since the early 2000s. Okay, as early as 2002. Okay, and it's now 2017, right? And this was my targeting became live in 2002. So prior to that, I would have to give about maybe 3 or 4 years back of being unknowingly manipulated and conditioned. Okay, to a point where now my target went live 2002 and continue on up until this day. So I'm gonna give you example of how they target me. So like I said, over the weekend they've been using the kid's mother, microwaving us in the apartment. Whenever she walks by me, like she would start to say things that doesn't make any sense, and I would come back at her like, what are you talking about? Why are you saying these things? And it causes conflicts between me and her, because again, they think that by using her or using my kids that I won't put up any type of defense mechanism. Okay, this is what they do, as explained here in on psychologicalharassment.com information. If you look at right here where it says mind control tactics, okay, so they talk about these tactics are usually applied in a group setting by well-intended but deceived friends and allies of the victim. So this keeps the victim from putting up the ego defense we normally maintain in known adversarial situation. Once you understand that, okay, once you understand that part, you'll know why they use family members and friends to target you, because they think that you will not put up any type of defense. Okay, hold on this. All right, so they think that you will not put up any type of defense mechanism because of because they're your friends or they're a family member. Okay, so again, once you understand that, you will learn to, even with your friends and family member, to put up a defense mechanism, because you have to. Okay, that's the way to minimize your emotional outbursts, if you do have emotional outbursts, and to not be so open, okay, to where you leave yourself defenseless to these type of psychological attack. Okay, so over the weekend, targeting my kid, microwaving us in the apartment, using my kid's mother to target me. She walks by me saying, kind of off the wall stuff, and also walking by, and suddenly, I talked about how, when females walk past me, not towards me, but past me, that they will place one of their arms behind their back with their palm facing out to me. So she used to do that very blatantly, and I started confronting her on it. And now she do it more subtly with her hands down, but as she walked by, she would turn her wrist to where her palms is facing me. And I've noticed it, I haven't confronted her on it yet because she always keeps denying it, but I will confront her on that. Okay? So, whenever they do that and they cause conflict between me and her, okay, and I would get a message from a social media site. Now, I had joined this dating site many years ago when we were having issues, and I was like, you know what, I'm done with her, and was looking to start dating again. I had joined this website. Now, me and her, his mother, we had got back together and stuff like that, but I still kept the website up because I noticed when I was trying to date on this website that they were targeting me, and they were using the female members on this website to target me. And particularly whenever me and my kid's mom get into an argument, immediately after or during that time, I would get a message from someone on there. Now, mind you, I go on there and I type hello, 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 because I want to show a pattern of how they use these women on these websites to target me. So I wouldn't get any response, right? Or I would just get a simply hi back, and then, I try to, engage in another conversation, and then I get nothing, right? So it wouldn't go past that, right? And, and I would just do that just to see, what would happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, will this individual reach out to me as I reach out to them, and we have a conversation, and, such and such, right? And there have been very few times, I would say probably twice, three times where somebody had given me their number, but it was under a suspicious, event. Like, I was being targeted heavily, and all of a sudden this person just give me their number, and I just find that to be very suspicious, So I never bother, and I don't bother because I'm not on the site to date anybody. You know what I'm saying? Especially being a TI, I'm in a situation where it's I'm trying to make the best of it. It's difficult for me being a TI because they use her to target me and stuff like that. But I do maintain the website because I know that they're going to be a particular time where they're going to target me and they're going to do something, and I'm going to be able to prove it. Okay? So, me and her, we had, we were very, there was conflict between me and her all day yesterday. And, so back in September, I had sent a message to this person here. And, I just said hello. As you can see here, I just said hello, and that was it. Okay? This was September 25th. Now, with all the targeting that they've been doing the past couple of days, I knew something was up when I saw I got a message from this individual. So I looked at it, and it says, hi, good night, what have you, a GN, I'm assuming it's good night. And, I was like, when did I contact this person? So I saw September 25th. And I'm like, okay, we're in December now. And this person now decided that all of a sudden they're going to say goodnight to me. So anyway, I replied, what took you so long to reply? And the person was like, not sure, to be honest, just went through my message and replied. Now come on. Really? She just went through her message and replied. Okay, now this happens a lot of times, like I said, whenever me and her get into an argument, what have you, they will use that opportunity to get some female that they convince to become a part of targeting me to all of a sudden contact me. Whereas when I tried to contact them before, even multiple times, they would not give me the time of day. Okay? But all of a sudden now, I don't know what happened. I just went through my message and decided to reply. Okay? Wow. Okay. Bullshit. Okay? They're using this person here, this woman here, as a tool to target me. Now, I'm sure she would have given me her number, but I don't want her number because, again, when things like this happen, I know that they will try these women to target me, and I wanted to show this particularly. So then, follow up on this now. All of a sudden, I think a few minutes later, maybe about an hour later, so my phone start ringing. So I'm like, who the heck is this? My phone start ringing. I'm like, wait a minute, who the heck is calling me at this time of night? Okay, because nobody calls me, after 12 o'clock at night, except maybe my brother. But the way my phone rang, it sounded funny because it wasn't my ringtone that I set my phone to. So when I I picked my phone up and I saw that somebody was trying to call me from Facebook. So I go on Facebook, and this guy here, okay, this guy here. Now, again, the use of color to target me. So he's wearing a red shirt. Now, why is this dude calling me? You know what I'm saying? And this was at 11:59, about 20 minutes, 20 something minutes after this individual here replied to me, right? And at 11:14 p.m. at night, she decides, okay, I'm gonna reply now. Yeah. Okay, come on. Really? It's like you don't think that, hey, I could be sleeping, but they don't care because they know I'm up, and it's just getting them to respond and target me at that time. And then this dude called me. Now this guy, I went to high school with, and we've been Facebook friends for a few years. And this guy never calls me. Why is he calling me at 11:59 Sunday night? Okay, he doesn't know if I'm sleeping, right? But of course he knows that I'm not sleeping because they have him call me as a way to target me. So here he is with the red shirt. Again, the color red is a color that they use in our targeting. And and I'm like, okay. So I see where this is going. So I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Went to sleep. Woke up this morning around 7 o'clock, and immediately as I got out of bed and I went into the kitchen to make breakfast for me and the kids, the sirens went off. Okay. First it was the police, then it was the fire trucks, then the ambulance. So got the kids dressed. I fed the kids, got the kids dressed. I dressed, walked outside to take them to school, and came out the building, started walking up the block, and saw this. So this morning, woke up to the sounds of sirens. Started around 7 o'clock. Walked out the building. See these two ambulances. Now, and this is going to be very quick. As I walked past the ambulance, I turned the phone camera to record the to see if there was any driver, any paramedics, in the ambulance, and it sure was. And as I turn, you'll see it happens real quick. He touches his ear. So you see, part of the targeting that they do, a part of the hand signals, is that they'll tug on the ear, they'll stick their finger in the ear, or if they're wearing earbuds, they'll fix it, even though it's not falling out, but it's the action, of what they do. These are hand signals, right? So it's supposed to mean something, like, what it's your ears, right? So what do you do with your ears? You hear with your ears, right? So anyway, let me just start the video again. This is parked up. These two guys. Very quick. See that? There you go. Walked out the building. Let me go back. It happens very quick. Ambulances parked up. These two. They turn. Look at his hands. You saw it. I'm taping him. He put his hands down. Right? They use ambulances. There's another ambulance. Two ambulances this morning. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is that as I walk past, and they now know that I'm recording, and at this point, now look at this kid. This is what they do. See? Right? Now this kid does not live on the block. Okay, I know the kids that live on this block. This kid don't live on this block. This kid should be in school or on his way to school. Except they have him standing out on the block targeting me. Alright? So, again, that is a thing that they do to try to tell me to be quiet, to try to silence me. Right? They do this whenever they walk past me, or they're standing, or, I walk towards me, or they're standing, or they're talking to somebody, or have you, if it's like a group of teenagers stand up after school talking, or have you, they all will do this as I walk towards them. Okay, adults too, they'll do this. Children do it the same thing too. They'll look at me and then they'll go like this. Okay, so I never really caught this on video, but today I did. And then he looks at my daughter. Okay, that's my son. Okay.
What they do.
Now watch. It's gonna happen briefly. They staring at my daughter. Okay, doing this. So this morning, you know, the use of the staring campaign, like almost everyone that walked towards me and my kids, they will all look and stare at my daughter. You know, as it's a psychological threat of threatening my kids, right? That if I don't be quiet, then what they're doing to me, they're gonna do to my kids. This is what they do. When you talk about a destructive cult, this is what these people are in, and the police, the NYPD, police departments in major cities are all part of this. They are all part of this. Government agencies are a part of this. Okay? And this is not a secret. This is what you call an open secret. Most people know what's going on, but they're not going to say nothing. They're either going to participate in it, and those that don't participate in it can't say anything. Okay? I don't know what it is that they're afraid of. Well, I know what they're afraid of. They're afraid of becoming a targeted individual themselves, or their kids become a targeted individual, or the state will do everything in their power to suppress them, just like what they do to us as TIs. Okay? So, okay. So, as I stop the recording at this point, the ambulance, the one that I had turned the camera to and the paramedic stuck his hand in his ears, drove off, right? So obviously, you know, that says to me that, yeah, they were there just to target me. And that the sirens that I was hearing, that was them, and they were there just to target me. Now, dropped the kids off to school, came back, one of the ambulance was still on the block, was still there. Got back upstairs, and my brother called me, and I had to go to the bank to take money out so I can bring it to the mechanic because the car needs to be repaired, right? And they need to order a part. So he said to me, you know, go to the mechanic and give him the money for the parts. And you know, so I was like, okay, I gotta go to the bank. So, you know, finished eating my breakfast, took a shower, came back downstairs, and as I exited the building, and I looked to my right, there was a police car parked down the street with the lights flashing. Okay, so at that point, I took up my phone to start recording, and when they saw me take up my phone to start recording, they turned their lights off and they drove past. And this is them right here driving past. Okay, as I was on my way to the bank. So again, that's another form of threat because they know I'm going to the bank. And again, as a TI, it constantly sending me message about you know, taking away my disability, or you know, doing things to where I can have no money. You know what I'm saying? So when I go to the bank, believe it or not, there are people out there in front of the bank, you know, when I go to the bank, and they'll do this. Okay? Or they'll shake change in their hands, right? So as I enter the bank, they'll shake the change up very loudly and very violently. Okay? Again, psychological threat, okay, of becoming homeless and not having any money. Okay? This is what they do, right? So got to the bank, and
once they
you know, took the money out, what have you, and I took a van.
This is what
to the mechanic.
I have to go to the bank, and I'm on my way to the bank.
This is just me explaining what it is that I'm doing.
On YouTube.
But,
they do and
skip some of that part. So got into a van. Okay, in Brooklyn we have these things called dollar vans or dollar cabs. You know, they go along the route of the bus and they charge you $2, right? So got into a dollar cab, and along the way, along that route, there were so many police presence along that route. Okay, that you know, it was and I couldn't take up my phone to record because they were talking very loudly in the cab, so I couldn't record. But when I tell you that there was an extreme amount of police presence along that route, believe me, there was. Okay, and it's not a coincidence. Okay, then I get to my destination, actually to the stop where I was going to get off at, and then here comes a traffic agent, okay, who crossed the street and stood, okay, on the opposite side of the street, looking at me, like staring me down, So anyway, I open my jacket, and my jacket has the New York champions sign on it, right? And I'm not doing this to target anybody. So if you feel like you're being targeted, I'm not doing this to target you. I'm just going to explain and give an example of why I'm wearing this shirt. So again, not also what it with the microwave and the subliminal message that they're trying to send me, but part of the subliminal message is that that they have tramped over me. Okay, in terms of people think I'm crazy and no one is going to believe you, so they win. So again, they do this because when you are winning over them, they want to make you feel like you're the loser, right? So they were constantly sending me these subliminal messages about how they won, and I'm going to be arrested and this and that and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give you all a taste of your own medicine. So went into the closet, got my shirt, and I started wearing it. And when they started targeting me, I would open up my jacket so they can see it, and they would look away. Okay, that's what they will do. They will look away. So with the ticket agent across the street trying to target me, I opened my jacket, and immediately when he saw this, he turned around and he walked away. Okay, get to the mechanic and pay for the parts that they're supposed to order. And my brother had asked me to ask the mechanic how much he was going to charge me to install the part. And again, when they start saying weird shit, whenever they're being microwave, they have them saying some weird stuff. So he's like, I can't deal with that right now. I'll talk to you about it later, and I'll deal with you and your brother, and 2 canes and a blue something. Again, the use of colors, right? So him saying 2 canes and a blue something. I can't even remember exactly what he said, but I remember he said blue something. He said 2 canes and blue something, which doesn't make any sense to me. It didn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you even say that? But again, microwave, or they're being coerced into saying those things, right? So I'm like, whatever. Okay. Got back, walked back to where I had to take a dollar cab back home to the apartment, and got out. Okay, walked up Bedford, head towards Martens, and as I reached Martens and I looked to my left, I saw 2 police cars. So I waited for the light to change, and as I'm walking across the street, 2 police officers exit out of the car. Okay? And one of them looked at me, and he did this. Look at his watch.
Turned onto the block.
Put his arm up, look at his watch.
These 2 cops, all of a sudden, as soon as they saw me, they came out of
So here they come.
Trying to act as if
they're going into this building.
And they probably have a legitimate reason to go in there, but they wait for the time for when I'm coming back, and then they do it.
Okay? So, why were they waiting in the car? They could have gotten out of the car and went into that building anytime, because I know they've been there for quite a while. Okay? Because when I approached the block and I turned to my left, I saw the 2 police cars. They were just there. Okay? The minute they see me as I was crossing the street, they got out of the car. One of them looked at his watch, and I'm going to tell you the reason why he did that. Okay? Because early on in my targeting, when I had to go pick up my son, because it was my weekend to have him, when I got out the train station, whether I was going down the steps or up the steps, okay, they were a police officer, sometimes two, and one of them would look at me and do this. Look at his watch, okay? Sometimes I'll be standing in the train station and they would just come up to me and stare me down in my face and turn around and walk away. Okay? This happened for many, many years. Okay? This is called neuro linguistic programming, or dark NLP. Okay? So immediately when they saw me, now they decided, okay, now yeah, we're gonna get out of the police car. See, this is intimidation. This is an intimidation tactic. This is a scare tactic that they try to use. Okay? But I still continue recording. You know? And let them know I'm not afraid of them.
They wait for the time for when I'm coming back.
So look. They're not going into the building. Okay? This gentleman just I think he might have came out the building. Let me go back.
Street.
Okay?
And
so look.
Turn onto the block. And
so he comes out the building.
All of a sudden, as soon as they saw me,
right?
They came out of the car.
They come out. They're pointing for him to open the door.
They're going into this building here.
Okay.
And they probably have a legitimate reason to go in there. But
this is all. It's a skit. And even though I said that they may have a legitimate reason to go in there, when I look at it now, it's a skit. He did not open the door for them. They stood up there talking.
When I'm coming back.
Look at him. And he's saying, "I don't want you to break into anybody's apartment."
What they do.
The guy lives in the building.
So when I was on the other side
so
of the
again,
street,
does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. If they was going to go into the building, they could have said, "Ask, can you open the door for me?" And the guy would have opened the door. But they want to stand around because they're all that gentleman, those two police officers are all part of what is called street theater, a skit. Okay, to try to intimidate me, the TI. Okay. So they start talking about, well, I don't want you to break into anybody's apartment. They don't even know the guy. How you going to just approach someone, two white police officers approaching a black man, telling him they don't want him to break into anybody's apartment? The guy just came out of the building. He lived in the building. Okay? Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. Okay? So if you don't see this, those of you who are not TI, if you don't see this as proof that they're targeting me,
right?
You're part of the problem. Okay? So, seriously.
One of them, as he got out of the car, looked at me,
you know,
and looked at his watch again.
So, you know, me showing this is a way of me proving what it is that they're doing. Okay? It's plain, at least to me. You know, I don't know how. If you're not a TI, when you look at this, you might try to make some type of rationalization in your mind. But when you go through this on a regular basis, as a TI, you know that this is what they do. This is an intimidation tactic. Okay, the New York City Police Department have been doing this to me for many years. Many, many years. Going around the community, spreading rumors about me. Okay. When I used to go on job interviews, going to those particular employers, you know, tell them things about me so that they will target me as I'm being interviewed, you know, to let me know that they're not going to hire me. Blacklisted. Okay? Blacklisted. Okay? Had me fired from my job. Right? Then try to use my son, my firstborn, as a tool to, you know, basically you try to use him as a tool to say, well, you know, if you continue looking for a job, we're going to take your son away from you, or we're going to hurt your son, you know, that kind of thing. These are criminals. Okay, they walk around with badges thinking that, you know, they're the protector of the community. They're not a protector of the community. They're protector of the elites, of those in power. They don't care about you or I. Okay? All they care about is that they have you under their control. That they can turn on a switch and you can turn against anyone in your community, anyone, based on the lies that they tell, based on the fabricated whatever evidence that they planned, based on the manipulation, the use of, directed energy weapons, secret technologies that they have that they don't tell you about, okay, that they use every single day on the general public, okay? And those people out there who constantly target me whenever I walk by, they're constantly staring at my crotch, that kind of thing. What the hell you staring at my crotch for? You want my dick? Okay? This is constant. All right? Constant, daily harassment. And you people think that it's okay to do this. You know what? TIs are not the crazy one. You motherfuckers are. Okay? Because no sane, rational person will participate in this unless you belong to a cult, unless you're a church member, you believe in organized religion, because organized religion plays a big part in this type of program, as well as government agencies, certain organizations. They do this. Okay? All this stuff has been written about. Okay? Why are people turning a blind eye? Why are people remaining silent? Why? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Why are your family and friends participating in targeting you? Okay? Do they think by doing what they're doing that they're trying to help you? Obviously that's not the case. Because if you look at the lives of TIs, their lives have been gone to shit. Okay? Once they become targeted. They destroy people's life. This is a destructive cult. Okay, created by the government, by the police departments, the FBI, the CIA. This is what they created. And they try to say this is about safety. This is about maintaining safety. Okay? You motherfuckers can maintain safety when that terrorist mowed down all those people on the West Side Highway. When the terrorists went into not Penn Station, 42nd Street Station, and set off a bomb. He only hurt himself, which is a good thing, but y'all motherfuckers couldn't stop that. So spare me that bullshit about safety. Okay? That's the shit that they like to use to get people to become afraid, so they can accept these sort of things. Okay? So they can take away your freedom. They can take away your liberty. They can take away your privacy. Okay? When they are the ones that are allowing or even creating these situations to occur. So they can come in like the fucking white knight on a horse, like I'm the savior. That's the tactics that they use. Okay? Y'all need to wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. Seriously. And I say this in my video numerous times. You really need to wake up. And for those TIs, you have to document your targeting, man. Don't let them silence you. They may try to convince you through subliminal message that, if you be quiet, we're not going to target you. It's bullshit. The minute you become quiet, they start targeting you heavily. Because now they feel like, what? We could do whatever we want to do now because, we've convinced this individual that silence is the best thing for them. So they should be silenced. Okay? Trust me. They're going to still target you. Okay? This is not about, this is purely about experimentation and plain and simple. That's it. All the other reasons that they're trying to give these perps out there of why they should do this to you or have you, that's all a smokescreen. Trust me when I say that. It is all a smokescreen. Okay? The real reason you're being targeted is experimentation. Alright? It's not no spiritual warfare, so stop the bullshit. Okay? It's just about evil people. Yes, they are evil. Okay? And the word evil is not synonymous with religion. Okay? These are evil people who are in high positions that feel that they can do whatever they want to do. And they try to use, oh, this is safety. These people are a threat to the community. They're a threat to themselves. They're a threat to... Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay? Well, that's the end of the video. And, there'll be a couple more coming during the weeks because, now they've changed up their tactics. Usually it's targeted heavy like this coming to the end of the weekend, at the end of the week, towards the weekend. This week, they're starting early. They're starting at the first day of the week, which was Sunday. So they've changed up their tactics. And I recognize that. And you get to a point where you start recognizing it too. Document it. Doesn't matter if they want to call you crazy. Document it. Okay? All right.